Persian eyes, but she's from Nicaragua. Thought you was Persian love. Are we turning up or are we wasting time? Girl, don't waste my time.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Ashana, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to do your own boho knotless braids from start to finish. This is a detailed step-by-step tutorial that's perfect for beginners, so if this is your first time trying this style, you're definitely in the right place. So grab your tools, get comfy, and let's get started together. These are the materials I used for this style: a rat tail comb for precise parting, shine and jam to help define and clean up my parts, some clips to help with sectioning off my hair, a pair of scissors for trimming, some olive oil hair sheen spray, edge control, and an edge brush for the finishing touches. The human hair that I'll be using for my boho braids is from EayonHair. They sent me 3 packs of their 20-inch wet and wavy bulk human hair in the color natural black. I've worked with EayonHair before, and I can confidently say that the quality of their hair is top notch. The hair was super soft, didn't tangle easily, and the texture and curl pattern was absolutely beautiful. I honestly could not decide whether I liked the hair more wet or dry because both looked stunning. Thank you so much to EayonHair for sponsoring this video. The direct link to this hair and their website will be in the description box below, as well as in the pinned comments, so if you want to get the same hair, definitely check that out. To part my hair, I used 2 mirrors, one in front of me and one behind me. This setup allows me to see the back of my head by looking into the mirror in front of me, which reflects the mirror behind me. Before I start braiding, I like to part my hair into large sections. It makes the process much less overwhelming. So I start by using the rat tail end of my comb to part my hair straight down the middle. Then I go over that part with shine and jam and repart using the precision end of my comb. And as you can see, this makes the part much more straight and clean. Every time you part, you want to make sure you're going over that part with your edge control and reparting to get nice, clean, professional looking parts. Next, I'm going to make a part in the back from behind one ear to the next, and again I'm going to add shine and jam and repart. Then I'm going to make a part in the front from the tip of one earlobe to the next. After applying shine and jam and reparting, I like to use the tail end of my comb to gently press the product into my hair along both sides of the part, and this just helps me to see the part more clearly. Once I have my hair in 6 sections, I'm going to part my rows and cornrow them before I start braiding. To create my rows, I start by making a horizontal part in one section, then I extend that part across to the other section. Pre-parting my hair helps me to move through the process much faster because I'm able to focus on one task at a time. When I'm parting, I'm just parting, and when it's time to braid, I can focus solely on braiding without having to stop after braiding one row to part another row. Braiding your hair takes time and patience, so breaking it down into simple, organized steps really helps to make each part of the process faster and easier. I went ahead and parted one side off camera, and now I'm just going to connect those rows with the section in the middle and then align the middle rows with the section at the front. You don't actually have to cornrow your rows. Feel free to use a simple plait, a twist, or even secure them with elastic bands to keep the sections separated. I personally just prefer to cornrow my rows because it keeps them neat and intact. That way, if I need to take a break, sleep, or even throw on a hat, my parts stay clean and straight, so that when I start braiding again, I don't have to repart or freshen up my parts. and the entire pre-parting process took me a little under 2 hours to complete. When prepping the human hair, I start by combing through the ends and making sure all the strands are even. Then I apply some shine and jam and separate the hair into smaller pieces. This keeps the ends stuck together and it makes it easier to grab and add a piece to my braiding rack. It also allows me to place multiple pieces on one hook of my braiding rack without them getting tangled or mixed up. This is about the size of the pieces I'm using, but how much hair you separate really depends on how full you want your braids to look. For the braids, I used 2 packs of pre-stretched expression braiding hair in the color 1, and as you can see, I'm just sectioning the braiding hair into smaller pieces and laying them out on each hair, which makes it easier to grab a piece as I braid. This is the amount of hair I used for medium lightweight braids. If you're going for smaller braids, then you'll definitely want to pull out less hair for each of your pieces. Now that my hair is pre-parted and the braiding hair is prepped, it's time to start creating the individual squares for each braid. To ensure that each square is neat and sleek, I'm going to apply shine and jam to each side of my square, comb through my natural hair from root to end, twist at the base, and use a clip to separate it from adjacent squares. To achieve that brick layered parting pattern, you want to make sure that each new part falls in the middle of the square below it. This method gives your braids a fuller look even if you're doing large or medium sized braids, and it helps you to achieve a style that's both full and lightweight. Now I'm going to show you guys in detail how to start a knotless braid. First, you're going to split your natural hair into 3 equal sections. Hold the left piece between your middle and ring finger on your left hand. Hold the middle piece between your thumb and index finger on your left hand, and then hold the right piece between your thumb and index finger on your right hand. Using your right hand to go underneath the middle piece and grab the left side. Then using your left hand, which is now holding the middle piece, you're going to go underneath the left piece and grab the right side. And at this point, your left hand should be holding all 3 pieces. Next, place the first piece of braiding hair between your thumb and index finger. Align the braiding hair with the right and middle piece of your natural hair and repeat the previous steps. Go underneath the middle piece and grab the left side, and you want to make sure that you're pulling on the pieces close to your scalp as you're doing this. Then you're going to go underneath the left piece and grab the right side. I fed in 4 pieces of braiding hair per braid, but the number of pieces you feed in depends on the size braids that you're going for. Just remember that the more braiding hair you feed in, the heavier your braids will be. I really hope that explanation made sense to you guys, but just in case, I'm going to show you guys one more time without my explanation. Once I've added all 4 pieces of braiding hair, I then start adding my human hair. When I'm at the top of my braid and using the overhand method, I add the blunt end of the human hair in between my thumb and index finger, set aside the curly end, then continue braiding normally. Once I switch the position of my hands to the underhand method of braiding, I'm going to place the blunt end of the human hair in between my thumb and index finger, align the strands with my left and right piece, braid twice, then separate the curly end and continue braiding normally. Once I get close to the end of my braid, I'm going to add another piece of human hair and braid that down about an inch without separating the curly hair. Next, I'm going to separate a small piece of braiding hair to make 2 to 3 knots. Then I'm going to burn the knot using a lighter to seal the end. You don't actually have to use a lighter, you can also use a nail glue to seal the end. I just prefer to burn it. Once the end is sealed, I'm going to cut off the extra braiding hair at the end as well as all the blunt ends sticking out of the braid. I added about 10 pieces of human hair to each braid, and because of that my hair came out looking more like Bora Bora braids than boho braids, but I absolutely loved the results. Now I'm going to show you guys how to use the crochet method to do your boho braids if you're not good at doing the knotless braid method. First, you're going to braid your natural hair down about an inch or 2. Next, you're going to open the latch of your crochet needle and insert it underneath your braid. Place the braiding hair on the crochet hook, close the latch and pull the hair through. You're going to hold one end of the braiding hair and pull the other end all the way through. Once you've crocheted all 3 pieces of braiding hair, you're going to use the underhand method of braiding. In the video, I'm using the overhand method, but that leaves a small knot at the root. To achieve a knotless look, you want to use the underhand method of braiding. So in other words, you're going to braid the hair on the wrong side. I hope that makes sense. Now I'm going to show you guys how to add the human hair using the crochet method. So you're basically going to make a loop at the blunt end of the human hair, pull the loop through the braid just enough to pull the longer curly end through it 1 to 2 times. Then you're going to push the knot that is formed down to the braid, pull on the blunt and curly ends in opposite directions to make sure that it's secure. Then you're going to add hair glue to the knot and cut off the blunt end. Once I get to the last row at the top, I'm just going to clean up that middle part and make sure that it's straight by applying Shine and Jam and reparting. Next, I'm going to create 4 squares on one side of that middle part and extend the parts across to the other side to make sure the adjacent squares align correctly. For the finishing touches, I'm just going in with some got-to-be glue to make my edges. Then I'm going in with some olive oil hair sheen spray to add some shine to my braids. I didn't use any hair mousse at this point in time because I didn't think the hair needed it. I did spray the hair with some water just because I wanted to see how the hair would look when wet. It looked absolutely gorgeous and it didn't take any time to dry. It was dry within an hour, and as you can see, both sides look beautiful. This is the wet side and this is the dry side. And this is the final look, you guys. Now, I know I always say I love the hairstyle at the end of my videos, but I was really in love with this one. I felt absolutely gorgeous, and these braids, they just turned out so perfect. My braids were super lightweight even though the style looked so full. I'd say these gave more of a Bora Bora vibes because I added so much human hair you could barely see the braids, and I love that. I got so many compliments and questions about the texture of the hair and where I got it from. So once again, thank you so much to EayonHair for sending me this gorgeous hair. The link to this hair will be in the description box below, so make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. I used 2.5 packs of the wet and wavy human hair and 2 packs of the pre-stretched braiding hair. It took me about 8 hours to complete the style, about 2 hours to pre-part my hair, and about 6 hours to braid, and I did 6 rows and a total of 48 braids. That's it for this video. I really hope you guys found it helpful and that you learned at least one thing from this video. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.